Good evening and welcome to the workshop. This is my 1956 ML7 and it's another video just a little bit about the lathe. In this case, the first run, or very close to it anyway. Here I'm going to switch it on, and that to me sounds great. It definitely needs an oil. These are not currently doing a huge amount, so it needs to be filled up. Both of them do. But I was doing a bit of light work on it just to see where we're at. And one thing that a gentleman in my previous video mentioned is that this Myford 4-way tool post actually supports 5/16 tooling rather than 3/8 tooling, which I was a little surprised by. I mean, I'd never even heard of 5/8 tooling, but it does ring true. So 8mm is between the two, and 8mm, if I put this little metal ruler here and I tighten this up, just bring it up a bit so it's hanging in midair, right? It's not touching the bottom. Now if I go around to the side, you'll see that it's not quite vertical. It's slightly over vertical. So what that means is that that means that the tip of that tool is very slightly above the center height of the workpiece. And I measured it up, and it's 0.08 of a thou. So it's not even 1 thou, but yet, you know, with a longish rule like this, you know, you can see it. Again, here we go. So what I did is I found a smaller tool here and shimmed it up to be just slightly under 5/16, and did the same thing, and it was very close. You know, it was being under. So you got two challenges here. If we have it underneath the center line, then as the work rotates, it's going to pull the tool in, which can be a problem. And if it's above the center line, then it's not going to get the optimum cutting angle. But bearing in mind, this is 0.8 thou here, and this is 0.03 of a millimeter over here. So really small amounts. So 25 micron, or like 20 microns above and 30 microns below. It's really small. So I'm not too worried about that now. Although I did use the clog heel tool post and try putting some of these big tools in there and cutting some of this aluminium just to make sure I wasn't being absolutely crazy. And as you can see, the finish isn't great on this little piece of aluminium. Move the light away. The finish isn't all that great, and I am working under the assumption that it is because the lathe is on a very flimsy bench with some flimsy MDF. Like I said, my lathe bench here, which is going to be made out of 40mm square steel, hasn't arrived yet. I just wanted to get things going. But yeah, just really pleased. Everything works perfectly. The lathe works. The power feed works. Now I'm just trying to getting. There's a little bit of backslide in these. You know, it's about 7 thou there, and this is locked down pretty tight, but it's probably about 10 thou there. So those two are things I can replace, but those are about 100 quid each to get new screws. These screws that go right through all the way here to the end to then feed in the slides and remove that backlash. But I'm going to try without, just see how we go. Yeah, that's where we're at with the lathe right now.